Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery putting together a quick video on the OCASO version of the Delos, which of course is a Merriken design. This is a collaboration where Kurt gave the okay for OCASO to have these produced. They were produced by an Italian company, and I will hit a number of the different points that were brought up on Facebook as far as concerns with the manufacturing, fit and finish, that kind of thing. Of course, because I've taken these apart and worked on them, I have addressed a lot of those issues on these specific knives. So if you are looking for a customized version of the Delos from OCASO, these are going to be your best bet right here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the overall specs real quick first. Blade length on this one is 3 inches, and it is 120 layer German Damascus, which is an N690 and a Nitro B steel. The overall size of the knife is 7 inches. It does have fat carbon fiber scales. This was the blackout version that I've totally reworked, and it has straight black carbon fiber scales. Of course, it is a titanium frame lock with a steel lock bar insert and steel caged bearings for the pivot. It is a tip-up carry with a titanium pocket clip, and it is a right-hand knife. I don't believe there were any done in a left-hand configuration. Let's see. Overall weight on this one is 3 ounces, and they are all done again with a very beautiful, nicely done Damascus blade. Nice sharp edge. Definitely a very good looking knife, of course, which is what you would expect out of the Delos. Anything that is designed by Kurt. And let's kind of go through a couple. I'm just going to go ahead and pull these off to the side real quick, and we'll look at some of the different features that I know came up as a potential issue on this knife. So this is the overall stock version of the Delos right here in hand. You've got the Damascus blade, thumb studs. The thumb stud is your only method of deployment. Does flick out with your thumb pretty well. You can flick it out with your finger from the bottom side. Now those thumb studs are kind of a step up thumb stud, and they are rather sharp from the factory. So the thumb stud was definitely one of the points that was a concern for me as I was looking at this one. Very sharp edges. The other thing that I had a little bit of issue with is some of the lock bar inserts stick up a little bit. You got a little bit of a rough edge right there where the blade meets. I have rounded those lock bar inserts and tried to make that a little more of a smooth surface there, as well as, of course, rounding down those thumb studs a bit to get past that. Some of the edges here on the frame are a little bit on the sharp side. So again, on all of them that I've worked on, I've kind of softened some of the edges on the knife, including the pocket clip all the way around. It has a little bit of a sharp edge up front. And I mean, it's a clean, crisp grind, but something that I personally would like to see removed, so I did. So this is the stock version of the Delos, and of course I won't sell anything that's stock for the most part, so this one won't be out there. I originally was considering doing some in this configuration where you still had the black frame lock side, and as you can see, if I can get in here close, I have touched up the edge of that lock bar insert to make sure it's nice and smooth. But at the end of the day, I don't know that I'm going to release any that have the black lock bar side. I do like the idea of rounding out some of these edges and really just kind of getting a little different overall feel on the knife. So this one won't be released. I know I've already done the pocket clip on this, but I'll take it back apart, remove the DLC, and then I will go ahead and do all the additional work that I've been working on these. So this one here, actually all of these, to really help me get that rounded, nice texture and feel on the knife, I did go ahead and remove all of the DLC coating, and then I went ahead and gave it an orange peel texture. So that orange peel texture kind of helped me knock down the edges a little bit, and also just gave it a nice feel on all the flats. So I'm really happy with the overall texture on these knives now that I've worked on them. All of these, of course, you had the steel lock bar insert before that was done in the DLC. Because I'm working on some of these and kind of trying to smooth those out just a tad, I have polished the edge of those out. Now you still can feel the edge, but it's definitely more rounded and doesn't have that sharp feel. That was pretty much my biggest issue as I played with these, was feeling that edge. That and these thumb studs just being too sharp. So as you can see on all of the thumb studs, you can see a little bit of the silver now, because I have knocked those edges down a little bit and given it a little bit smoother feel. The Damascus on all of these is very nice looking. It's a nice soft finish. The etch isn't too deep, and it hasn't been polished, so it's kind of a soft satiny finish on all of the different blades. This one is a teal blue with a little bit of purple through the end of it that just got a really nice Superstorm treatment. Don't know if it'll focus enough that you can see that orange peel appearance, but it is in there and really gives you a good look. I really like these higher voltage colors because, of course, the fingerprints don't show up as much. They are all centered in nicely, and of course I've nano oiled everything, so flick out very nicely. So that's all good. Lockup is very nice on all of these as well, so no issues there. Nice and smoothed out, and again, thumb stud is polished out, so it's looking really good. That is a high voltage blue. This one really turned out pretty sharp. It is a green background with a heavy bronze and kind of yellowy green Superstorm treatment. Turned out very nice. Again, lockup's good. Centered in very nicely. Flicks like a champ. So, turned out really sharp looking. Very pleased with that one. I've got a couple of the different purpley blue high voltage versions. They all turned out really nicely. That color just barely fingerprints. Just puts a tiny bit of a matte appearance to it. But really looks very nice. And the carbon fiber is very nice on all these, nice and smooth. And of course you've got the OCASO pivot, which is their logo. So very cool looking pivots. Flat square on that side, and then a number 10 Torx on the other side. Did this one up with a gold appearance that's got kind of a pinky blue superstorm going through it. Turned out pretty sharp looking. And lockup is pretty much in the same spot on all of these. There's a little bit of a trick putting these back together. When you go to get everything assembled and you put the lock bar side back on, you want to let that lock up before you put that pivot in there, and then put the screws in the end. If you try and do it in a different order, the lock bar doesn't go over far enough. But definitely once you get the feel for how to assemble and disassemble this one, it will go back exactly where it's supposed to be for your lockup. So that is the gold version. And here is one more of the kind of tealy blue purples. Really, these things were just super stunners as they were coming out of the workshop. That orange peel has such a nice texture to it and really turned out very nicely. So again, lockup's good, polished out, a lot of nice color, and super smooth on the flick. The flip with the thumb and the finger from the bottom side. So I know there was an awful lot of negative chatter on this one. A lot of talk out there about the quality, that type of thing. Really, the issues that I ran into as I was looking at it and was playing with it to decide whether I was going to be working on this one were kind of the sharp edges. Sharp edges of that lock bar insert, the thumb stud, the edges around the pocket clip, and those were the biggies. So on all of these, we've softened all those edges up. We've definitely given it a nice lube job with the nano oil, as well as kind of reworking everything. And I'm pretty pleased with the overall result. And of course, the anodizing just took it to a whole nother level. So definitely keep an eye out on the website. They will be posted very soon. Actually, by the time you see this video, they'll probably already be posted. So keep an eye out. And these are the only 8 that I expect to be getting in the black DLC. So this will be all of this run that are worked on, and I don't know that the blue version with the blue carbon fiber are even going to come out. So if you are looking to pick up one of these, definitely a limited run. I do know that Rick over at OCASO is talking about going with a different vendor and is not going to be making any more with the Italian company. At least that is the impression I was left with. So if you would like to get an Italian version that will definitely be a limited quantity, here is your opportunity to get a custom anodized version. Please check us out. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.